we still need to find a way for installers to be able to identify these roofs a lot easier.
Well,
wasn't someone doing some sort of app or like did they take or was that us, Jack? I can't even remember.
Oh,
we discussed
that was me. I was working on
Was
that
that
little
you?
side hustle. Yeah.
how much for the app?
I was going to try and create an app. So you take your phone, right, and then you
That's
just point the
actually
camera
brilliant.
at the roof, the profile, and then it tells you what it is. But really, I wasn't even, there was no back end. It just says I-34 every time.
Then the app's like $4.
None of the sales have gone up.
No, look, I think if it makes sense, like a lot of the guys that have changed over to the universal mid-end clamps, for the same reason that made sense, these will make sense as well. So
Well, yeah, I think it's
installers. They just they measure up the sheet width, and then the crest width and height.
The rib height.
Yeah, sorry, crest rib. I was brought up saying pan and crest. And then you sort of just work it out. But then I think we discussed in the sprint that's a bit more complicated than that to get it right with the sheet. I think we discussed that.
Didn't you speak to BlueScope recently, Sean, to find out something we can do on this?
Yeah, I'm talking to him at the moment. But yeah, to answer your question, Longy, yeah, it's more complicated than that. I mean, really, you can give us all the details you want. At the end of the day, we can't. There could be another manufacturer out there that manufactured an identical profile to something else that we've tested with. So even if you give us some measurements on a roof profile that match something that we've done testing on, we don't know that it's that roof. It could be a copy of that roof, in which case the clips could be inferior, in which case the roof sheet might come off the roof under the same load as a Lysar product or whatever. So
generally when installers do site inspections, they don't commonly lift the sheet. And they just sort of, they put the clamp on. If it feels sound, and they sort of just say, it's this 700, then we just give them 700 clamps. Generally, obviously, other installers might do it a bit more thoroughly. So what's the proper way if you're an installer doing a site inspection on top of a roof, a clip lock roof? What's sort of the best way to do it properly at this stage?
If you can get the drawings, so the as-built drawings that specify what roof sheeting was used, that's always a really good indicator. Failing that, if you can lift the roof sheet or get underneath and somehow see some labeling on the roof sheeting, that's another good way. Failing that, really the only other way to confirm what type of roof sheeting you're dealing with is to do an actual on-site test. And so something that we're working on is something they've been doing over in some of the Asian offices is, it was really cool. They actually put together it was like a rig where they used all Clenergy products to create like a what would you call it, Ivan? I don't know.
Like a pulley system kind of.
Yeah, and then you attach one of so it's like a bar across and then down, and it's got feet that sits on the roof. And then you attach one of these, I don't know what these things are called.
Is Andre still there? Because he knows the technical name for it.
But anyway, the thing that you attach to the clamp, and then you pull up and it applies pressure to the roof sheeting, and you can do like a non-destructive test. That's actually something that that we've spoken about in the sprint already. So
we play
that gets voted on, and
video?
that's sorry.
Could we play that video on here?
Yeah, Ivan, I think.
Yeah, we've got it. I've got it. I can show it to Costa.
Yeah, so I'll send it to Matt Hines next time he's doing a site inspect. He's doing it all wrong. So he's like, you have to have this in the back of the van.
That's it. And you can go MacGyver styles and just we'll just have a guide how to cut this piece this long and then attach the bolts here. And then, you just need your little machine. And
because you really set yourself apart from the Bill Buster mobs when you rock up for the site inspection, you got this contraption.
Totally. It's even better if you've forgotten it and you can make it up from stuff you got in the van. So
wheeling it out to us.
It's actually better even on an engineering point of view, because you're actually getting real life data. It's going to be better than referencing the standards or doing calculations based on assumptions. So you end up using less clamps, you save costs on materials and all that kind of stuff.
So let's say you're on site and there's no labels under the sheet. You don't know what the sheet is. It's 20, 30 years old, then it might be 700, like it fits the clamp. Are you saying that you can't technically use that clamp because we don't know what the sheet is, or
I mean,
not?
you can use the clamp, but at the end of the day, who takes responsibility, right?
Yeah.
And so at some point, someone's got to take ownership of this job. And if you can confirm what the roof sheet is, then you can pass some of that ownership on to Clenergy and the engineers. If you can't, then you've got to take full ownership. Or get the customer to sign off on that, which might be difficult,
Right.